Sreyas and Preyas. The Katha Upanishad, one of the foundational texts of Indian philosophy, provides profound insights into life, death, and self-realization. Central to its teachings is the distinction between Sreyas, the path of the ultimate good, and Preyas, the path of immediate gratification. This dichotomy is explored through the story of Nachiketa and his encounter with Yamaraja, the Lord of Death. Their dialogue offers timeless wisdom on the choices we face in life and the pursuit of spiritual growth. Katha Upanishad presents Sreyas and Preyas as two opposing options that every individual encounters. Preyas refers to the path of pleasure, comfort, and short-term gratification. Sensory desires and the pursuit of worldly success often lead to transient happiness but not lasting fulfillment. Sreyas, on the other hand, represents the path of the highest good, rooted in self-discipline, wisdom, and spiritual realization. Sacrifice and effort ultimately lead to bliss and progressive immortality. Preyas is alluring and easy, but distracts us from deeper truths. Sreyas, though challenging, aligns us with our higher purpose closer to the true self, Atma, as eternal servant of Krishna. The story of Nachiketa and Yamaraja. The narrative begins with a young boy named Nachiketa, the son of the sage Vajrashrava, who conducts a sacrificial ritual with the intent of gaining material rewards. Dissatisfied with his father's insincere offerings, Nachiketa challenges him and is eventually sent to the abode of Yamaraja as an offering. Upon reaching Yamaraja's domain, Nachiketa finds the Lord of Death absent and waits for 3 days without food or water. Impressed by the boy's patience and determination, Yamaraja grants him 3 boons as a gesture of goodwill. For his first boon, Nachiketa asks that his father's anger be pacified and that he return home peacefully. This shows Nachiketa's selflessness and concern for familial harmony. For his second boon, Nachiketa requests knowledge of the sacrificial fire that leads to heaven. For his third and final boon, Nachiketa asks Yamaraja to reveal the truth about what happens after death and the nature of the eternal self. Yamaraja teaches him this ritual, symbolizing the preliminary stage of spiritual practice aimed at material and celestial rewards. When Nachiketa requests the ultimate knowledge of the self, Yamaraja tests him by offering worldly temptations. He presents riches, power, sensual pleasures, and a long life, all of which fall under the domain of Preyas. Nachiketa, however, remains steadfast, rejecting these transient pleasures in favor of the eternal truth. The wealth and pleasures offered by Yamaraja are enticing but fleeting, tied to the material world and ultimately leading to bondage. Nachiketa's unwavering pursuit of self-knowledge demonstrates his alignment with the higher path. His choice to prioritize spiritual realization over temporal gains reflects the qualities of a true seeker: discernment, viveka, dispassion, vairija, and an intense desire for proper conception, mumukshuttva. Once convinced of Nachiketa's sincerity, Yamaraja imparts profound teachings about the nature of the self and the ultimate reality. Yamaraja explains that the self, or Atman, is eternal, unchanging, and beyond birth and death. It is the substratum of all existence and cannot be destroyed by any force. The wise who realize the self as eternal and beyond decay do not grieve. Realizing the self requires self-discipline, meditation, and a turning inward. The senses are naturally outward-facing and exploiting the environment. They must be controlled and redirected towards dedication to the highest truth. That truth is Sri Krishna, reality the beautiful. Yamaraja emphasizes the importance of a teacher, a guru, and the scriptures or shastras in guiding the seeker. True knowledge arises when the mind is purified and the intellect becomes focused. One of the most famous metaphors in the Katha Upanishad describes the body as a chariot. Here, the senses are horses, the mind acts as reins, the intellect is the charioteer, and the self is the rider. Mastery over the mind and senses leads the seeker to the ultimate destination, union of the self in the loving service of Sri Sri Radha Krishna. The distinction between Sreyas and Preyas remains deeply relevant today. In a world dominated by consumerism and instant gratification, it is easy to be drawn toward Preyas, the pursuit of wealth, fame, and pleasure. However, these pursuits often leave us unfulfilled as they fail to address our deeper spiritual needs. Choosing Sreyas requires conscious effort and discernment. It means prioritizing long-term growth over short-term pleasure, embracing self-discipline, and seeking inner peace and wisdom. While the path of Sreyas may seem demanding, it ultimately leads to a life of meaning, contentment, and highest fulfillment. The story of Nachiketa and Yamaraja in the Katha Upanishad serves as a timeless guide for seekers navigating the crossroads of life. It reminds us that the choices we make between Sreyas and Preyas determine the course of our journey. Nachiketa's unwavering commitment to the ultimate good exemplifies the qualities of a true aspirant, inspiring us to rise above fleeting pleasures and strive for self-realization. By embracing the path of Sreyas, we align ourselves with the eternal truth, beauty, and love, fulfilling our highest potential and experiencing the bliss of the imperishable self as loving servant of Radha Krishna.